In March of 2018, Update 22 Legacy of the Necromancer added North Mirkwood, the Dalelands, and Erebor to the game. True to his word, Gimli made the long march north and brought the Stout Axes to the Lonely Mountain to join Durin's folk. Before King Thorin III would agree, he bid Spakorth and his Stout Axes prove their loyalty by aiding the Dwarves of Erebor. Their craft skill had mysteriously waned over the years, and the king wished to restore his kingdom to its former glory. Shortly after the Stout Axes' efforts, Thorin held a celebration to commemorate the end of the war. The Stout Axes and the surviving members of Oakenshield's company were invited to the king's table, where they received a welcome surprise. Nar, former esquire to the late King Thror, returned to Erebor at the king's request, ending his long exile in Enedwaith following the death of Thorin's great-granduncle. The celebrations continued into the night, but the legacy of Durin's folk would soon be tested, as a familiar figure approached the Lonely Mountain. Gandalf was searching for information regarding Karazgar, the Weeping Warrior, when he ran into Othi Gemcutter, a dwarven jeweler who had returned from a visit to Laketown. Othi told Gandalf that Karazgar had many agents in Laketown and believed him to be responsible for the dwarves' diminishing craft skill, as he had no love for dwarves. Gandalf, curious on the matter, consulted with his old friends Gloin, Dwalin, and Dori about their plight. The dwarves believed it was because the Arkenstone, which was buried with Oakenshield, was no longer in the mountain. But Gandalf believed that the emergence of Karazgar was likely connected and suspected the Arkenstone may have been stolen. The king acknowledged Gandalf's suspicions, but would only allow them to enter the tomb and confirm the Arkenstone was safe with the leave of Dís, Oakenshield's sister and Cillian Fili's mother. Gandalf rounded up Oakenshield's company and traveled to Ravenhill to meet with Dís, who had not visited her kin in some time. Dís, wary of the influx of visitors, agreed to allow them to open Oakenshield's tomb, but only if she went with him. Inside Mazal Akraz, the resting hall of the dwarves, Oakenshield's company discovered that the Arkenstone still lay with their old friend. The dwarves despaired, believing the loss of their craft skill was irreversible, but Gandalf and Dís reminded them that the dwarves were strong and would overcome this adversity. With renewed hope, the company returned to King Thorin to inform him the Arkenstone was safe. Gandalf concluded that the fading of the dwarf's craft skill was instead due to the loss of Durin's Ring of Power. Disappointed but content with this answer, Thorin returned to his rebuilding efforts, but bid Gandalf stay in Erebor while the wizard sought the Weeping Warrior. Meanwhile, Othi Gemcutter returned to his home where he and his mother Amma ran their family's jewelry business in their father's absence. After one of their clients curiously bid them well on their departure, the Gemcutters discovered that Kil, a tailspinner from the east, had been spreading rumors that they had fallen on hard times and were set to leave the mountain in disgrace. Outraged by the slander, Othi sought an audience with King Thorin to air his grievances against the tailspinner. Kil, who aggravated the king and dodged his questions, revealed he was not of Durin's folk, but of the Zarulka, a clan of dwarves with a troubled history. To avoid trouble, Kil tried to flatter Thorin by claiming his son Durin would accomplish great deeds. Ultimately, Thorin ruled in Othi's favor and cast Kil from Erebor, though ironically also ordered Othi to escort Kil to the Iron Hills and to return his son. It seemed that Kil had succeeded in burdening Othi, and begrudgingly they prepared for the journey east to the Iron Hills, where Prince Durin awaited, and the strength of the dwarves would be tested.